Hey guys, welcome to my Victoria's Secret fashion show inspired hair and makeup tutorial. The model's skin always looks super radiant and natural, so to prep my skin, I'm mixing my MAC Studio Moisture Cream with my Scott Barnes Body Bling, which is going to hydrate and also add a bit of colour and glow to my skin. For foundation, I wanted something that was going to last a long time and look really natural, so I'm using my MAC Face and Body Foundation with my Morphe G5 brush, which they kindly sent to me, so go check them out. Their products are amazing quality and so affordable, and I used the shade C3 in MAC Face and Body for anyone who was interested. For eyebrows, I'm using my Anastasia Dip Brow in Taupe to fill in the outer third of my brows with a flat definer brush from Bdellium Tools, I'm not really sure, and then use my Kiko Brow Pencil to fill in the inner third to create a natural gradient effect. So I'm just doing them the way that I always do. I think at some point I'm going to do a brow tutorial so I don't have to keep sort of going into them in each video because everyone does their brows differently. I then sculpt out my brows with my MAC Studio Finish Concealer in the shade NC15 using a small brush from the Morphe Gunmetal range, and then I'm just buffing that out with a Real Techniques brush. To prep my lids, I'm using my soft ochre paint pot from MAC all over and around my eye as always, and then to set it I'm using my Studio Fix powder and just setting your kind of creamy primer is just going to add to the longevity of all your eyeshadows and just make sure that they go on a lot smoother and don't get sort of stuck in any of the wetness of the cream product. For eyeshadows, I'm using all Morphe shadows considering their palettes have just about every colour and are perfect for this look, and I'm using their matte palette and their shimmery palette, and I'm using the sand colour as my initial transition shade. It's a lot like MAC Uninterrupted, so if you're looking for a dupe for that, this is perfect, and buffing it into the crease with my Sigma E40. Taking this warm brown shade, I'm using a MAC 217 to further deepen the crease. I watched a video about the model's makeup, and the makeup artist said that they used all browns, gold and greys on the angels, so that's what I'm going to use. So all over the lid I'm mixing these two shimmery gold shades and just placing them all over my lid where I haven't actually put any shadow yet. It looks brown, but it is grey, so I'm using this matte grey shade and I'm buffing it into the divide between the shimmer shades and the matte browns we put there earlier to create a seamless transition in the crease and to kind of deepen it further to make sure there are no lines. And I'm just going back in with my 217 to buff out all the shadows as well. I then take this paler shimmery gold shade into my inner corner and take it up a bit onto my lid as well, and then place the white shimmer shade on top to create a really bright inner corner highlight, and also I'm going to take that onto my brow bone to highlight there as well, and then I just buff that out with my Sigma E40 brush again. Sorry this bit is out of focus, but I'm using my black Morphe gel liner and I'm just using a thin liner brush to create a really slim line as close to the lash line as possible, then thickening it just a tiny bit the further out I go. And then I'm going to create the base line for the wing drag it out a tiny bit because they didn't have a huge wing, but there was definitely one there. So I'm then going to just create the baseline for the wing and drag it back in, connecting it to the original line. Using a small shader brush and that matte grey shadow again, I'm smoking out the liner to create a sultry kind of look, and then bring it up into my outer crease to define it and create a cat eye effect, and then buff it out. I don't know why the lighting's so different in this one, but it soon fades back to being the same as before. I was trying out this different lighting, so let me know if you prefer this one or my other one, because I'm still new to it, so I'm just playing around. And just apply any mascara. You can leave it at that, but later I am going to be applying some accent lashes to enhance the cat's eye look. Now to my face, I'm using my MAC Mineralized Concealer in NC20 to highlight under my eyes, forehead, the usual places, as you'll see in a second. And then to buff it out, I'm using a new favourite brush from Morphe. That's a tapered kabuki, kind of similar to the, is it the Sigma F86? That's the one that's ringing a bell, but I think it's called that. And yeah, I'm just using this to blend out all the places that I highlighted. As I want to keep it looking as natural as I can, I'm using a cream bronzer from Bourjois that smells like heaven to contour my cheekbones, forehead and jawline. It looks really full on to start with, but because it's a cream, it's going to be blending in really seamlessly and naturally into my foundation. Keep buffing, just keep buffing. To set my concealer and get rid of some of the shine on my face, I'm using my Studio Fix powder again in NC20 and just pressing it into my skin. To further bronze, I'm using my Zoeva Mineral Bronzer to warm up my whole face, considering the models all looked super bronzed and I 100% am not. Pink cheeks was an obvious feature on every model's face, so I'm using my MAC Mineralized Blush in Dainty to achieve this, and just going in with a really light hand because I personally am not a fan of blusher, so I didn't want it to be too heavy. And to highlight, I'm using this incredible highlighter from Bobbi Brown, their holiday collection I think this one was from, and applying it to places the light would naturally hit, and you can see I was very impressed with how it was coming across on camera because it truly is one of the best highlighters I own, so get it while you can. Back to my eyes, I'm using the warm matte brown shade we were using earlier in the crease and taking it under my eye using a fluffy pencil brush. For lashes, I'm using these ones from Eyeshadow, and I didn't really like them on their own, so I cut them in half and used the fuller side to create a cat's eye effect for my eyes. On my lips, I'm using my new favourite lip liner from MAC called Sublime Culture, which is really creamy and super easy to apply. And then to add a bit of pink, I'm going to be using my NYX Butter Gloss in Eclair, and then lightening the centre of my lips with my Studio Finish concealer from MAC. So this is the finished makeup look, which was super easy and wearable for every day. But now moving on to hair. This was my hair after leaving it to just air dry after I washed it. So before I curl it, I had to lightly straighten it to avoid my curls frizzing. And then I put my hair into sections, and there's going to be 3 in total. So using my Coriolis curling wand, I'm going to be alternating the way I curl each section. So for this one, I'm curling it in an outwards motion, so just taking a reasonable amount of hair and then just wrapping it around the wand away from my face. I hold each bit of hair for about 15 seconds, but as you can see in this one, I'm now curling it in an inwards direction, and I'm just going to be repeating this throughout my whole head, hair, whatever. This motion of like alternating the direction of each curl is just going to add more volume and make the curls look a lot more beachy and natural. So I'm just continuing to do this for this layer and then for all the other layers as well. So this is what one half of my hair looks like. Now the other half of my hair, and then as you'll soon see, that's the middle layer done, and then my whole head. This is the finished result, and then I just run my fingers through it to brush out the curls a bit and make them look a bit more natural. And I was looking at this photo of Candice, and she had her hair in this really sophisticated side parting. So I'm just pulling my fringe over and fluffing my hair up at the roots, and then that's it. So this is my finished Victoria's Secret makeup and hair tutorial. Thank you so much for watching. Please share, like and subscribe, and I'll see you soon. Bye!